I'm filming this video as a follow-up to a previous video I had made about fixing ladders in your knitting. So what is a ladder? I get them a lot all the time when I'm using double pointed needles, and basically it's at the join of a two double pointed needles. That's where it always happens for me, where you can see these giant gaps in your knitting. So here you can see as I'm knitting on the needle itself, it looks pretty uniform and straight. However, on the ladder, it looks very stretched out. And this happens to me all the time. It hasn't really improved with practice. But what I used to do when I was knitting like this with double pointed needles, I would just try to pull really tight as I was knitting the next stitch. So I would keep this yarn super tight and try to make my this ladder tightened. However, you can see here I still have a huge gap, so that's not really gonna work. What I had filmed the video about previously was how to fix them once you've already had them here. You can see I have this huge ladder and I want to fix it after the fact. And what I had done in that video was I took a crochet hook, or you can even take a knitting needle, and you make a new stitch somewhere here at the join, and you just work that up through each rung up to the top. And with that new stitch you have, you don't want to mess up your row count, because sometimes if you're doing like a pattern or something, it matters the number of stitches you have, like an even or odd number. So you don't want to actually add the stitch. So what I had done, I just put it back on this needle, and then with this real stitch that I have and the new stitch, just knit those two together and continue forward like that. That's how you fix a ladder after the fact. However, with that solution, it creates an extra stitch. You can see an extra column in your knitting actually, and then it goes into your normal knitting. So it does create a different look, but I wanted to show you how to actually prevent it going forward as well. You don't want to always be creating a new stitch. And the way I prevent ladders, I'm taking my new needle, and I am not going to go interact with the ladder itself. If I just pull up from here and I go forward, it'll create a huge gap there, which I don't want. I'm actually taking the preceding stitch below the row, I'm taking from there and wrapping around onto my new needle, and I'm taking the back loop. I'm twisting the stitch actually, and that creates a new stitch, and it's similar to my old technique, just going in to the new stitch as well as the original stitch and knitting those two together, and that will get rid of your ladder. However, you can see I should have actually done my previous technique with it. You can see the rows below still have a ladder, but here it's much tighter. And actually I'm gonna hold this stitch, and I had already done this on a different piece of my double pointed needle. So you can see here I had done the same method on this stitch, and it looks a lot better. I still have the laddering in the pre-existing rows, but up at the top it's pretty tight. So that's what I use to prevent my ladders going forward. And I use that on every join I have. No matter if I have a ladder or not, I just do it in case, and it helps me out a lot. You can also do it if for some reason in the middle of your knitting row you have a gap for some reason. You can also use the same technique, but I always use it for my double pointed needle joins for my ladders. So hope that helps. Good luck knitting. See you in the next one. Bye.